Hello, viewers. Welcome to 360-degree live show. Myself, Niloy Chattaraj from Transcontinental Times. And let's welcome our eminent guest, one and only Mr. Vivek Agnihotri. He is one of the prolific director in the Indian film industry, a great screenwriter, an author, and an activist. Vivek, sir, welcome to the show.
Namaste and thanks a lot for inviting me. I'm really delighted to be here with your viewers.
Thank you, sir. First of all, congratulations for getting the national award for the best screenwriter in your own film, The Tashkent Files.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we will start with the same question. How are you feeling after getting a national award?
Oh yeah, I won't lie. I mean, I won't be modest also. I really felt good. And one of the reasons, especially, I felt good because when I wrote this script, everybody was saying it has too many dialogues and there is no screenplay. It's a very unusual film, you know. And when we made the film, everybody said, please cut, there are too many dialogues and there is no screenplay. But ultimately, when the film came, everybody loved dialogues and there were clap tracks. People used to clap on dialogues and screenplay worked very well. So finally, we got national award for the same thing. So it's like, what else do you need? Whatever people reject you for, if that gets awarded, it's a very special feeling.
Sir, my first question to you: what prompted you to produce a film, The Tashkent Files? Because when this film is released, a lot of bad reviews were there. I don't want to name the people, and either I don't want to name the paper. But some paper, some say some says that it is a junk. Some says that Vivek Agnihotri is a cavalier conspiracy theorist or a kite flying filmmaker. When I watch the film, I find that the criticism is not for the film. It is something criticism for the director, who is making such a beautiful film and a thought-provoking film. But sir, why you are getting such bad reviews for good film? I don't understand. Please enlighten us.
See, the thing is that this entire lobby of critics and reviewers and this entire leftist lobby, they were good friends of mine. Now I have no problems, but I don't think they consider me as their friend. The reason was that I realized by working with them for almost a couple of decades, deeply inside in journalism, advertising, and then from the film side, I started interacting, meeting them all the times, having dinners, going out and going into deep conversations. And I realized that they are so corrupt and they are so hollow. And they always work against the society. They never ever give correct inputs to the society or contribute to the society's growth in any way. They are very negative and anti-people. And because of this negativity, they also give ideological support to people who are anti-India. For example, terrorists or Naxals. You know, they always try to justify those kind of things. Even students at Jadavpur and JNU, they always support them. So I started exposing urban Naxals. I don't know why they felt I'm talking about them. So they were guilty. And that's why they started, not critiquing my film, not reviewing my film, but reviewing me instead.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you observe, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So then they are not interested in the product. They are interested in the maker. It's like somebody gives you a cup of tea. You are not interested in the tea, but you are interested in the tea maker.
Yeah. So this should not be the case.
On the other hand, the same people champion the cause of anti-casteism or feminism or communalism, these kind of things, right? Which simply means that everybody is equal. Look at what people do and not review the maker. So they contradict themselves, and that's why you will find that when they boycotted reviewing the film or they reviewed the film in a very bad way, that's when the people who were buying tickets, they started writing reviews. And this film actually worked because there were thousands of reviews by the common people. And which means common people also understand this. And look at the irony. The irony is that the film, the first frame of the film says, this film is dedicated to all honest journalists. And the same journalists were boycotting the film. So you know who's honest and who's corrupt, as simple as that.
Yeah, yeah. Having said that, what was the thought process behind making the Tashkent Files?
See, I said it so often. How does it matter? Kya thi thought process? The film is out there right in front of people, so people see it and they decide what. It's their thought process which matters more, than my thought process. But my thought process basically was, Shastri was just a catalyst. When you dig the mystery of a very respected, honored, and honest person, audience organically finds a lot of credibility in the investigation. So my thought process was basically to establish a point, a theme which I had been concerned about for a very, very long time. And in my mind, I'm a researcher. I keep researching all the times about the society, the politics, why this happens. I'm not generally suddenly critical of things. I see it from many points of view. I try to do that. And after doing all that, I have come to a conclusion that the biggest problem in this country is that there is no right to integrity, no right to honesty, no right to truth. It's impossible to find truth in this country of anything, whatever, not just government, not just public sector, but private sector, media, institutions, everywhere, film industry, you will never find truth, So if something happens, you don't even know why it happened, what happened. You don't know kisi film ka kitna budget tha, kitna revenue tha, you never know. So that is the point I wanted to establish, and I think it very well got established with the film.
Yeah, yeah. Now, you have coined the term. The first time I heard from your book, the urban Naxal. Let me quote it from Romila Thapar. What she was saying. Do they even know what urban Naxal means? First, ask the government to define the term urban Naxal, and then tell us how we fall in this category. So my question is straight to you.
Did you see my reply to her?
Yes. But I want to know, what do you mean by urban Naxal and who are they?
Okay, so it works like this. In this world today, what we are fighting is info war.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what, and it's happening through cyberspace. So therefore, it is very often called cyber war. Right? And this entire war is to weaken different nations. That's war, and everybody is playing in this globalized world. Marketing companies are looking at how to take over the market of some country. The cultural market is looking at how to take over the cultural market of that country, how to change habits and attitudes and everything so that they get more aligned with us and therefore buy our products. This is the whole market game. Now, in this, it makes sense to keep India destabilized. And many countries, Pakistan wants to do it, China wants to do it. Even American marketing companies want to do it. They don't want Indian entrepreneurs. That's why they hate Baba Ramdev's Patanjali so much. And they almost hate every Indian. Mahindra, they are so against, about the automobile industry. Tatas, they are so against and stuff like that. So in that, politically also, administratively also, they want you to be destabilized. In India, this Naxal war is going on for last 50 years, 50 plus years actually.
Yeah,
54, 55 years, I think, approximately. But terrorism is very new. Terrorism started in 1984, 85 onwards, after Khalistani terrorism. Then the terrorism started and Kashmir became hotbed for that. So this is the oldest problem India is facing. Now these Naxals consume so much of nation's energy, time, and money. Okay, in just dealing with them means just being defensive. We have not been able to eliminate them for so long. And let me tell you very honestly, it's not that any government did not try to say that. Indira Gandhi was the biggest victim of Naxalism.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
entire Congress's cadre in Chhattisgarh was eliminated by Naxals, including Vidyacharan Shukla and the chief
Yes,
minister.
yes,
So his
yes.
son and all that. Everybody, पूरा कारवां जो है blast कर दिया था ambush में. They died on the spot. Telugu Desam party ho, whichever party you take, everybody has suffered through their hands. Every party has tried their best to eliminate them. But what happens, what goes wrong, why they can't do it? They can't do it because these people get ideological, legal, logistical, financial support from urban centers. And it is written in their own document to wage this war against India by capturing their cities. And how will you capture these cities? You'll capture these cities by using the intellectuals, the media, the academia, students, labor, and all the weak sections of the society, and take them along and create anarchy kind of a situation, so that, and anarchy is a political term, so anarchy and destabilize and create a civil war like situation, so that by 2025 they can take over the state of India. That is their written objective.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, in urban areas, these people, obviously they get paid from somebody somewhere, so they organize infrastructure and logistical support for them. So these people who live in urban centers and provide ideological support, which I think is the most dangerous support, because what happens is then you are bringing a debate of a criminal, of a terrorist, a country's enemy, bringing them on the level of conscience, and then you start playing around, manipulating the collective conscience of the society, and you make it as if it's a matter of liberty and justice, which it is not. It's a matter of crime, and it's a matter of enemy. Just kill the enemy. Anybody who's destroying your roads and hospitals and your schools, people who
Yeah,
are killing innocent Adivasis, women, children, raping people, looting people, people who are doing this in Bastar and Adivasi areas, tribal areas, they are the enemies of the nation. They work hand in gloves with Pakistan and China. All these Pakistani and Chinese people come out in their support openly. The international terrorist organizations have said that these are the fifth, number was 3 or 4, keeps changing, but it's in top 5 terrorist organizations of the world out of 150 odd. 5 most dangerous: IS, Brotherhood, होरो, क्या वो होको, अफ्रीका में क्या मैं नाम भूल गया, हराम, क्या
Boko Haram,
yeah, that Taliban, and then these people,
yeah,
they are in the same category. So when people give them ideological support, these are urban Naxals.
So that means somebody from inside is definitely supporting the Naxals.
Of course, these are inside enemies. Recently, there was a report in Shekhar Gupta's The Print, how 100 journalists were on Chinese payroll when that dark thing happened, So at that time, 100 Indian journalists were on their payroll, and they had flats in Shanghai, and their children their fees was paid, and whole lot of things. You can go and check it out in The Print.
Yes, I have gone through.
These are urban Naxals.
Yes. No doubt about that. This is one of the biggest threat to the Indian democracy and like that. Let's come back to your movies. And there are a lot of movies. You begin with Chocolate, which is a thriller, a kind of a thriller.
Yeah.
From thriller to Head Story, then Buddha in Traffic Jam,
Junior. After Chocolate, I made Goal, which is the first football.
Yeah. Dhanadhan Goal. Yeah. I forget that. Dhanadhan Goal, Head Story, then Zid, Buddha in Traffic Jam, Jununiyat, The Tashkent Files, and now the most talkative film of the year. I think it will be most controversial and yet successful film, and that is the Kashmir Files. Now,
Ji.
this film, this is the most belittled subject as far as my study is concerned. What happened almost more than 30 years back? Nobody has taken care of what happened to those migrant Kashmiri Pandits who were forced, who were literally thrown out of the Kashmir Valley, and we people are, we people are thinking that event didn't happen at all. And you are making a subject on which you are making a film. How difficult for you to make a film on this, which happened 30 years back?
See, difficulty is it's a mindset, it's a mindset, a lot of people say, oh, I was doing that, I failed, and then I failed. And I don't look at things like that. I think when you say you failed, which means you also learned that which way not to go. That's why it wasn't working out. So the film had lots of issues, lots of problems, lots of things. But I look at them more like, see, okay, honestly, I haven't spoken much about this film, and I don't want to until the film is ready for release, But
Yes,
still, I tell you, sir, whatever I can tell. When I approached this film, when I committed, I said, yes, I am going to make this film a few years ago. So it's not that I just got emotional and said, oh, I have to make this film. I also calculated. I tried to analyze what's around and what is the cost of making this film, not in terms of money, but what's the price of making this
yes,
film,
yes,
and what are the threats. But then I said that if I don't make it, perhaps nobody is going to make it in coming times. I don't see anybody who would like to venture into this kind of a subject. Why would anybody, if it is, you have to sacrifice everything? So after a lot of thinking and analyzing and meditating over it, I said that the reason to make it is far bigger than all the sacrifices. What will I sacrifice? Little bit of health, money, there will be threats, there will be problems, people will try to sabotage it, all these things. But these all things can be regained, All this you can come over.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
you get busy with some new project and you forget, you said, yeah, chalo, it's part of life, it happens, But this is not a film. This is almost capturing India's most important history and the reasons behind it in one creative capsule. You don't know about Jews and the Holocaust because you've read books.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you don't know.
No, yes.
Not because of books. You know it, know about it because you have seen movies around it.
Yeah.
In modern times, movies give you a feel what happened. So, and this is not from recent memory. Nobody has seen it. Therefore, nobody feels guilty about it. Then nobody cares about it because nobody has seen it. They don't feel for it. Unlike World Trade Centers falling in front of your eyes, not one but millions of times, so you feel for it.
Yeah.
Because our mind will never know something which we have not seen. Your mind doesn't have the capacity to comprehend something which your eyes have not seen. And therefore it is very important that you get to see it. And therefore I said I have to go inside the scene, what happened in 1990 genocide. I have to go inside and I have to take audience with me inside. But the first level, I have to go inside. So the first impact of the film is on me. And it has changed me as a person, my worldview, my views about humanity. All that fake and very pseudo kind of humanism I used to carry with me as a public personas, posturing, a facade. Now all that has shattered and I have understood the true meaning of humanity. I totally understand what it means to be human. And in one lifetime, if you understand that, I think is the biggest blessing you can ever have of your elders, of whoever the people. And that's what has happened with me. I still, I understand the pain intellectually because I have not felt it. I was not the person, but I can say that yes, in moments and parts I have felt it, where I just couldn't control myself. I have broken down. Now, if I can give that experience to the audience, then I think this film will pass the test. It's not about box office. This film is
Yes.
definitely not about critics and reviews and all that. It's too pure a subject. It's too much of human pain that anybody has to review it. You know, if they review the film, they will be reviewing human pain also, the failure of humanity also. So this film is to be experienced. So I'm making it only for those people who genuinely want to experience what happened with the community. That's it. That is the sole purpose. If I can achieve that, I think I'll be blessed.
Yes, yes, yes. One more thing, because this film, when God willing, will come to the next few months, will definitely be a I'm telling you, this must be a path breaking, because the younger generations, when I'm talking to them, does this thing happen to our people at the Kashmir, and how they were asking that it is a part of India, and how cannot the government come into helping these people. Now things are changing. Do you think that the things are changing during last 6 to 7 years, to be exact?
Of course, things have changed in India. In India, since the independence, the power of narrative, the hold of narrative, the ownership of narrative, total control of the narrative was with the elites of India,
Yeah.
the so-called intellectuals and all these people, you know. And in 5 6 years, what has happened is the biggest achievement has been that when elites control the narrative, rest of the population feels that they are defeated. And there's a defeatist psychology which the country develops, that it can't be done. ये हो नहीं सकता, अरे ये नहीं होगा. और उस इंडिया में किसी से भी बात करिए, everybody would say, no, this is not possible. No, this is not possible. In last 5 6 years, the middle class, especially, and the weaker sections of the society have got empowered, and now they also have some hold over the narrative. If not hold, they also can influence the narrative because they are trying to create their own narrative. They are not trained professional narrative builders like the leftists, but they are trying. They are trying their best. And with some time, they will learn also how to control narrative. So with that, these people have got little rattled. They, first time, they are doubting themselves, and which is a very good sign. And once the middle class youth, which is getting empowered when he was 13 or 14 or 15, today he's going to be 20 and 21. And very soon, I think by the time they're 25 in the next 4 or 5 years, they will start controlling the narrative. And why not? I do not understand why India's narrative should not be controlled by the Indians, common Indians.
Yes. Yes.
Why
Yes.
it has to
Yes.
be controlled by all these Oxford educated and speaking in English, which nobody can relate with. Nobody can relate with their lifestyle, their thought process. People who are always comparing India with the West. Why should they control our narrative? Why should corrupt people control our narrative? Our narrative should be controlled by common Indians. And that's is a very big change.
Sir, you have shot the film, The Kashmir Files, in Kashmir itself, or some other places also?
We have shot it in Kashmir also, and we have shot some portions in Masuri also. We have shot some portions in Dehradun also, and we have shot some green work in Bombay also.
Okay, okay. One more thing is that, sir, your Muhammad and Urvashi, you are being constantly threatened by some section of the society for the use of the first word. Will you please elaborate a little bit about to our viewers?
See, I understand. I make political comments and I do political analysis and I have opinion on politics. So obviously, then a lot of people will be opposing it because it is not possible that in when you have a political opinion, somebody else won't come and question it. So I am mentally fully prepared that yes, there will be opposition. I have no problems with that. But it really breaks my heart when I see for Mohammed and Urvashi, and people who have seen the film, they know it's so popular, it's so viral. People know that here it's got nothing to do with anybody's faith. It's about time.
Yeah,
Film
yeah,
is
yeah.
philosophically about time, whether time is linear or time is circular. Are we moving from point A to B, or it's our karma which is taking us in a cycle? And then it doesn't matter whether you are Muslim or Hindu or whatever. Doesn't matter. If you're part of that cycle, then you're part of your karma. And it's like it's a law of physics. It's a law of nature, you know. And it's got nothing to do with any religion. In fact, religions came later on. But then this principle will always hold. Religions will come and go. So many religions have died. So
Yeah,
many
yeah.
in last few 2000 years, so many new Buddhism, Sikhism, Jainism, Christianity, all Islam. These are all new religions, but so many religions were there and they died, you know. So religions also take different shapes and forms, and it, you know, becomes it's transforming all the times. So therefore, it was based on my belief. It is a maker's belief. That's why you make short films. You don't make short films to tell people, I agree with what you believe. No, this is my belief. If you agree, then you agree or disagree. So the whole my belief was that there is this one guy who lives in no man's land. Nobody goes there, nobody comes there, and he lives and he maintains one dargah, and he is so sin-centric, sin-oriented, means is so conscious of committing sins that usse
Yeah.
चींटी भी पड़ जाती है तो वो he starts writing on the wall for forgiveness of Allah. And but despite all that, he can't control his greed and lust.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He steals a watch and then he looks at this guest's wife with a lot of lust and he masturbates, you know, looking at her. I mean, it's a very strong statement there, you know. So, and ultimately, it haunts him so much, his guilt, that he finds himself stuck in this circle of time. So it was a philosophical, very different kind of film, you know. I wanted to say something, and I'm very philosophical by my real personality. So that was the film. But it would become so popular, I had no idea. Won so many awards for us, you know. My hero got a couple of awards. He gave a nude scene in that. So it was a brilliant experience, yeah.
Sir, when we are in religion discussion, to be frank, with my concept, there is a difference between dharma and religion. What is your concept of religion?
Okay, I hope religious people don't feel offended, you know, with what I say. That's not my purpose. See, since the advent of humanity,
Yeah,
we have been very cruel people. If you look at the history of humanity, it's full of violence and bloodshed and wars. Entire history. But yet, humanity not just survived, it evolved. And today we are at a very extremely evolved level of understanding of the cosmos.
yeah,
We have made great progress despite all that. How did we do that? Because somewhere we understood as humans that your greed, your wanting to possess, your jealousy, hate, all these things are as integral to human nature as love, compassion, empathy, etc., etc.
yeah, yeah,
The good and bad both are equal part of human beings. And very often is the evil part, the bad part, which takes over the goodness of human being. Correct? And therefore, how to emphasize, otherwise you will find that suppose if there are no regulations in the corporate sector, in the marketplace, then There will be 100% monopoly. People who have power, they will,
This,
they will destroy everybody else and they will take over everything. And it happens so often. It happens. Monopoly, you know that. That's why every country has anti-monopoly acts, some kind of regulation system over there. So in social terms, how do you create this regulation so that people appreciate goodness and they understand, and then also give them certain tools and books or guidance or a handbook how to practice certain things so that you become goodness. And it's very simple science. Let's not get into ambiguous things and vague things, which abstract things. Let's talk science and something which even a child can understand. It's
yes.
as simple as that. If you spend you become where you belong. And there are famous sayings also that you are what the company you keep,
Yeah.
So if you start spending a lot of time in a pub, you will start thinking in a certain way. If you start
Yes.
spending a lot of time in a bookshop or in a library, you'll start thinking in a different way. If you start spending a lot of time in a garden place, you'll start thinking differently. You start sitting with scientists, slowly over a couple of months, you will start thinking differently. You start sitting with idiots, you will also slowly start thinking in a very idiotic manner. And it is,
Yes.
I mean, you just cannot deny it. It's a law of social science.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what they did is that they tried to create tools and techniques and methods and ways so that you end up spending more and more time in discussing forgiveness and compassion, service, helping each other, love, and higher morals, So it became a moral code of conduct, and that's what we understand religion is all about. Now, there are different kinds of people. There are people who believe, who live in a certain area. They have different geographical realities, and therefore they think differently, in areas, in desert, people have different beliefs. On mountains, they have different beliefs, So therefore, in different areas, different religions came up: Islam or Christianity or Buddhism or whatever, stuff like that. Now, in between, before all these religions came up, in India, there was this entire Hindu philosophy and different branches of that philosophy, Advaita, different Shaivism, different, Sankhya, different. And so there were different schools of thought which were researching on philosophy of life. What's the meaning of life? Where have we come from? What's this cosmos is all about? What is relationship, etc., etc. So therefore we created so much of scientific theories and ideas and principles and laws. We created all that, since we were never religious. So the only thing we talked about was dharma, and dharma here simply means doing the right thing, because all the religions ultimately say the same thing: do the right thing. Therefore they understood this also as a religion. Whereas what is Hinduism? If somebody can tell me, मैं तो मान जाऊंगा, मेरे को तो इतना मैं लोगों से डिस्कस करता हूं, मुझे कोई बता दे what is Hinduism? क्या है हिंदुइज्म? भाई हिंदुइज्म अगर एक चीज है तो सब कहेंगे कि ये शंकर भगवान है, भाई यही भगवान है, तब तो रिलीजन हुआ. वन गॉड, वन बुक, वन लॉ. या एक ही घर में लोग चार अलग तरह से पूजा करते हैं, तो फिर ये धर्म कैसे होता? तो हमारा जो है वो फिलोसॉफिकल, मेटाफोरिकल, हमारा मेटाफिजिक्स है, वो फिलोसफी है, बहुत हायर लेवल पे है. वो रिलीजन के भी ऊपर है. वो रिलीजन के ऊपर है, जिसमें कि ये नहीं है कि ओनली दीज पीपल कैन फॉलो दिस और दीज पीपल कैन फॉलो दिस. इट्स फॉर एवरीबडी, द एंटायर यूनिवर्स. वी बिलीव इन दिस ऑल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ इंफिनिटी, एंड इंफिनिटी, इट्स एवरीबडी, इट्स ऑल एनकम्पासिंग. So it's a very great philosophy if one wants to look at it, not from the lens of religion, but more from the lens of life.
Yeah. I am telling you one because I am also a scientific researcher.
Yeah.
When I came across the standard model of quantum physics, it is one kind of model where all the particles can be integrated, and that particle and that integration said, ultimately saying is that either we have the 11 dimensions or 21 dimensions. When
Yeah.
I was going through the Brahma Puran, the first thing that the universe come into existence with 21 dimensions, I was clearly surprised. If somebody is writing it, say for a scientific perspective, that somebody is writing it 2000 years back, how that person can come into know that was 21 dimensions. And right now the quantum physics is saying either we are 11 or 21 dimensions. So
True.
it's a mind boggling dilemma. Won't you agree
Absolutely.
with that?
Oh, absolutely. If you're talking, see, in Shiva's Tandav Nritya, it's cosmic dance of Shiva.
Yeah,
The whole story was that when Shiva is there, he's not there. When he's not there, he's there. And
is
in
there.
quantum
Yes,
physics also, you'll find the same. That's how
the
particle
same
behave.
principle.
When
Yes,
you see it in that thing,
yes,
tunnel. So
yeah,
when it's there, it's not there. When it's not there, it's there.
yeah.
So it's amazing.
Yeah. And to make it a point very emphasis on that point, that CERN, CER in CERN, that is a big laboratory, $100 billion laboratory, which is in Europe, and they have the Nataraj Murti, that is in on
I've
their
been there.
front door.
Yeah, I have been
You
there.
are
I have
there.
a photo also in it.
Yeah. So even the scientists are now recognizing that from the past we can take the wisdom part of our society, and that's how it is being reflected on your film. So, sir, coming back to your film, what are your future projects, sir, after
So
Kashmir Files?
I've finished actually two films this year.
Yeah.
After this COVID became a little better.
Mhm.
One is called Nautanki, and it is about the
Nautanki.
modern art of India, Nautanki, and Anupam Kher and Satish Kaushik are playing that. Pallavi Joshi is also there. And then I finished Kashmir Files. The editing is going on. And for last 7 8 months, I have been researching on a very very important subject, which is the last part of my trilogy, Tashkent Files, Kashmir Files, and one more files I'm making on India's very hidden modern history and very controversial subject. So that's what I will be making a film on. Besides that, I'm
I-
writing my first novel.
is that Subhash Chandra Bose
No, no,
files?
no, 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 no,
No,
no.
no, no. Okay, okay,
Uh,
okay. Please carry on.
so, and then I'm writing my first novel, and
Oh,
yeah, so this is exactly what I'm doing right now.
okay. So you said about Pallavi Joshi ma'am, and my heartiest best wishes for belated birthday to her. Please convey my deep regards for her.
I'll
I
do
have a
that.
very huge respect for her, and to
I,
you also, sir.
thank
And
you.
with a note that I am very much hopeful that your film will going to become a path changer in as far as the Indian society is concerned. Let the younger generation should know from your side what was exactly happening in 30 years back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for your such a kind cooperation with us, that you have spent a valuable time to us. Hopefully we will again catch you when you finish your work on Kashmir Files, and let all the actors should come in our 360-degree live show, so that we can have a chat at that time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye, sir.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Bye.